hope this isn't like super zoomed in or anything, but like this angle is really weird. I'm used to filming vertical, and it's forcing me to clean up areas of my room that I do not want to clean up. Hi booktube! So nice to meet you. I'm Key, and this is my first ever booktube video, so I thought what is a better introduction than doing the booktube newbie tag, which I've seen a lot of creators been doing. I am moving to booktube after being on booktok for a while. I'm still there, but I've decided that for 2025 one of my resolutions was to expand my platforms, and especially with the fact that the TikTok ban has been taking effect in the US. I'm personally not affected by it, but I thought, that was quite a bit of a wake-up call, just to know that you should never put your eggs all in one basket. So now I'm branching out. But yeah, I'm so excited to be here, and let's just dive straight into the tag so we can get to know each other a little bit better. I got a little excited and I started like filling out all my answers on a little notebook. So I'm going to be reading off this and answering, why did you start this channel? Again, I'm originally from booktok and I'm very used to making vertical content, but because of the format of TikTok, it's really hard for me to post longer form content. And I felt that, I've always really liked making vlogs, especially. This YouTube account used to be one that I posted my study vlogs and lifestyle kind of vlogs. They're no longer public on this account because I just felt like I didn't have that much passion for doing those vlogs. When it came to me watching other people's like reading vlogs and like what I read in a day, that kind of stuff, I really like those. And I feel like me as a booktoker or just a book content creator, I had a lot more passion about this, so I could make more bookish vlogs and longer form content. I also really wanted to connect with a wider community. I feel like there's so many people that are in these bookish spaces that I just don't want to be limited to just one platform. Booktube is another way for me to expand my reach and make more friends who have the same shared interest or goals in books. Like I said before as well, because of the TikTok ban, a lot of my US mutuals are now being forced to branch out into other platforms, and I still really want to connect with them. And I know a couple of them are on YouTube as well, so this is my way of keeping in contact and just making sure that no matter what platform you go to, my content can always be accessible regardless of which region you are. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to booktube? What I did very much notice about booktube is the fact that it is severely lacking in BIPOC creators. I just rarely see creators of color pop up when you search booktube in the YouTube search bar. No hate to them, obviously, they're all amazing people. It's all just white content creators, and it made me feel like, is there no like BIPOC content creators? Like, is there not like people like me that I can relate to that are on this platform? They are there, but it's the fact that you have to really dig deep to find these people who are diverse, because I don't see it being very diverse. I want to play a part in it. I'm not saying me being here as a BIPOC creator is going to drastically change this, like, the tables. I'm going to make it so diverse because I'm here now. That's not what I'm saying. I hope that myself being here is able to be like a little drop that adds on to this and just helps it reach that eventual point where creators of color can be seen more easily and can be very easily accessible and have more of a voice and more of a presence in social media platforms without having to be something that needs like an archaeological dig, because that is not the way it should be. I also really want to share more diverse recommendations. I feel like I want to find more people that have the same book recommendations or like the book taste as me. I really like reading diverse books, and I feel like my recommendations can really help these books be seen more. Next question is, what are you most excited for this channel? I'm really excited to just expand my creativity with booktube. I just really like vlogs, okay? I feel like there's something really exciting about seeing a person read a book, but on TikTok where things are just going so fast, you just don't have the time to sit and watch like a nice 15-minute video. And I'm just really excited to explore long form content for this channel especially, and to just see where I can take this channel to. Why do you love reading? At first, I loved reading because it was for escapism, and as a kid, I really loved reading romances. However, a lot of the romances were, of course, people that did not look like myself. Now, I am able to find more diverse book recs, and I'm able to discover books that, you know, like go across different countries, explore different religions, explore different cultures, and just different experiences from people that do look like me and people that don't look like me. And these are books that I never would have had the opportunity to read if not for my love for reading. I just love reading because it feels like traveling, but cheaper than traveling, and I get to do it all from the comfort of my home. What book or series got you into reading? The number one series that got me into reading, from my memory at the very least, was when I was in primary school. A classmate lent me the first book in the Trilogy by Hocking, and that was my first time reading anything like that, like a fantasy romance. That was an experience. It was actually very life-changing, and I would frequent the library so often, chasing that high, trying to find a book that would hit just as hard as that one. After that, I did fell off reading. It was a period where I wouldn't read as intensely. I only really got back to it in 2024, like the beginning of 2024. In that year, I remember picking up the Prison Healer series by Lynette and Noni, and oh, that series changed lives. That series changed my life. So that dived me back into reading for that year. And for 2024, because of that series, I have managed to read 124 books, and that is insane. I've never managed to hit that number before in any year. So yeah, those two series are the ones that really kicked me back into reading. What would you say to your favorite booktubers, except I want to remix this question and just tell you guys about who my favorite booktubers are, and we'll leave it at that and why I love them. I have got 4 booktubers on my list. So the very first one is Sarah Danielle. You may know her from TikTok. She is very, very popular there, and she is also the first ever creator I stumbled upon once making my booktok account. Actually, she's the one who inspired me to make my booktok account in the first place. And yeah, I really love her videos, and she was also the one that had taught me the importance of reading diversely, and because of her making that emphasis, I was able to find like books that I really, really loved and enjoyed that were about different cultures and races. The second booktuber that I really love is Sunny Kim Reads. I have been watching her for a while. I really relate to her content. I'm also a student myself at university, and I'm doing my bachelor's degree, and her little what I read in a week as a grad student vlogs are my favorite thing ever because they're so realistic, and it was just, they're like, oh my god, yeah, you can absolutely read while studying. Because for some reason when I'm in school, I have such a one-track mind where I'm like, I can't touch a single book until I'm done with my semester, and that's not true. I could probably read like a page a day, like minimum, and she's out here reading like several pages, so like it's realistic. Another of my favorite booktokers, Eden Jonas. I found her on TikTok as well, and I just really love the way she talks about books, and she's also really funny, but I didn't realize she had a booktube account until I found her on YouTube one day, and I binged her account. I love, love, love her content so much. The last booktuber, the one that I adore, is Newly Nova. She is insane. I love, love, love her energy. I will say this about every booktuber. I like them all because their energy is top notch. I think my most favorite thing about her has to be her reading series and telling us what it's about so we don't have to read them. It's usually about like the most unhinged things ever, and I don't know, I just really love hearing about her opinions and her reactions to these series, and it's just like it's so funny to watch. It's like talking to a friend, and that's what her videos feel like, and I really, really adore them. What challenges do I think that I will be facing that is the hardest to overcome? My biggest demon here is editing. I used to do lifestyle vlogs, and I would put off editing for ages because I think in those vlogs I just made it a point not to talk, so it was really hard to add captions and make the whole thing really engaging because I just did not have my own voice. I would dread it, and then these videos would just have like filmed content, weeks and weeks of content that were just like unedited, so it's just like I have so many diamonds, I can't share it with the world. But to be honest, I probably won't be filming just vlogs, and even then I anticipate on filming vlogs where I'm definitely going to be talking a lot more in them, so the editing process should not be too much like pulling my teeth out. I also feel like I have to learn to be a bit more articulate with my words when I'm talking about books and talking about my experiences. Most of the time when you read books, it's definitely more of a solitary activity and everything's just in your brain and stuff. Everything sounds more articulate in my mind, but when I have to put it out into words, I feel like half the time I'm just not making sense. I'm gonna try to be able to like express my ideas better to everyone so I can be easily understood. And did you start reading? I started reading at a really young age, from like maybe like 8 or 9 onwards, mainly because my mom brought me to the library when we were really small, and we just went there and borrowed books. And I would remember the first few books was the Rainbow Magic series, the one about the fairies, the Magic Kitten, Magic Puppy, Magic Every Baby Animal There Is. Also Geronimo Stilton, Thea Stilton. Those ones are just the books that like really had me obsessed as a kid. And from then on, I would just be reading. Like, I would get into trouble for being at the library after school for too long because I was just out there looking at books on the shelves and just getting lost in them all day. Where do I read? I mostly read at home. I don't know if we're talking about location, but my favorite place to read lately has been in my backyard, where I like to be picnicking in the backyard, aka have a mat, have like an iced coffee, and just open my book. And if it's sunny, have like a sun umbrella out so I can stay there all day. But yeah, that's my favorite place to read physically. I read books either as audiobooks, physical books, or just as ebooks. I use my Kobo to read a lot of books as well. And the last question on our tag is, what kind of books do you like to read? I like to think that I am someone who's very open to any genres of books, not very interested in nonfiction. I really find myself picking up a lot of YA books, fantasy books. I haven't really touched books that are very high fantasy. I feel like they don't really appeal to me as much. I'm 100% a person where you can give me any book in the world, give me something that has a romantic subplot. Even the tiniest smidgen of a romantic subplot, I will latch onto it and it will get me through the whole book. I read YA, fantasy, I read slow burn romance, and I also like reading single parent romances. I don't really touch contemporary romances a lot, I'll be so honest with you. Contemporary romances, they don't scratch that itch like my fantasy books do. So yeah, I'm more of like a romantasy or just like a fantasy with a romance subplot kind of girl. Yeah, any kind of book that interests me in general, because I find myself wanting to read a bit more of horror, a bit more of mystery books, a bit literary fiction. Like, it just depends. I am very much, if this sounds interesting, I will pick it up. That's the end of the booktube tag. I hope that this gives you a bit more information about me, and that, you know, like, you can expect some content that maybe you're looking forward to seeing. I have a couple ideas already cooking in there. I am in the process of filming one of my very first videos right now, which you will find out very soon. But as a hint, I will be reading 5-star books from some very special people. So yeah, that's the next video that's coming up. But aside from that, I'm just really excited to be here, and I'm really excited to connect with more people. So if you have any of your favorite books that you would like to share, please do let me know. But yeah, otherwise, I will say goodbye to you here. See you next time. Bye.
Probably start with, I like the way she smiles. She got me staring for a while. Got me staring for a while. Yeah.